obviously you want to have a lot of followers, because the more followers you've got, the more eyes you've got on your business and on your property. But it's more about the engagement and the way that you're connecting with the people that you actually have within your community.
You're listening to the She Renovates podcast. You're listening to She Renovates, the podcast for women who want to renovate to create an income and a life they love.
Hello, everyone. So we have the beautiful Katrina Lumsden, who has got an amazing business, an amazing property, and an amazing Instagram account. So some of you may not know that we have quite a few Wonder Women who actually do have businesses in property. And what that means is that they are investing in themselves. So in terms of their understanding and their experience of property. And I think that that is a big indicator of how committed they are to their business and also to their property results. So I wanted to bring Katrina on today to share what she's doing in social media. I don't know about you, but seriously, I don't even try on Instagram because I think I'm a lost cause. But I'm hoping to pick up some tips today because all the women are telling me that you're the legend.
I don't know about that.
Well, I'm just going to give a really rough, brief outline, and I'm going to get you to fill it out because I think you'll do a lot better job than me. So
Sure.
basically, you've been a Wonder Woman since December 21, and you have you're a mum of 3 boys and who are now 14, 19, and nearly 22, and you've been married for 30 years. I'm still ahead of you, Katrina, but you're doing pretty well.
Yeah, still going.
Yeah, they've renovated 4 family homes, and Katrina has been transforming homes in her mind since she was 13. So we all know what that's like. They've moved a lot, and so now Katrina has an amazing business where she started out helping people style their property for short-term rental. And her big dream is to buy and renovate and design a hotel into a cool holiday property. Think Palm Springs meets coastal luxe. In the meantime, she's more than happy to put a passion into her clients' holiday homes. And when you go and check her Instagram feed out, you'll see that she has an absolutely beautiful style. So thank you.
Thanks, Bernadette.
Yeah. So now we're going to talk about how to use social media to fill their holiday rentals. Now, do you want to just talk about what the opportunity there is in social media for holiday rental property owners?
Well, I think, first of all, I just want to say thank you for having me back on again. It's very, very kind of you. I just wanted to say too, I started out in my business 14 years ago now. So I am an interior designer, but I've also, as you know, like when you're in business, you wear many, many hats. So I have been doing and been learning about marketing for a long time, and I've done a lot of courses and had a lot of mentors. So it's something that I've always been very passionate about and I really love. And I think that probably that's why my Instagram, it's something that I actually really enjoy. And I love being in there, communicating with my followers. And I think that that's something that's really, really important. And that's what's really great about Instagram, that is over and above what you can do with a website, with an Airbnb platform, is that connection that you can have with your potential clients, with your guests in your target market. And I don't know about you, but whenever I want to go and stay somewhere, if someone recommends something to me, I actually jump onto Instagram because I want to dive right into check it all out. I want to see all the images. I want to get to know that property. And there's only so much that you can actually find out on an Airbnb platform or on a website. Whereas when you go to Instagram, you can see reviews, you can see guests sharing images of their own holidays. And so I think that, there's so many people using Instagram. It is, it's a worldwide, not going anywhere platform, and, it's free. And so it is something that we really should be utilising in the holiday home market. And so, I've first and foremost am an interior designer, but I have started to branch out more and teaching more inside my own program for people to use their social media to elevate their holiday properties and to bring more bookings in, because it's free and it's there. And it is so important to bring those bookings in.
And it's also a very granular way of connecting with a property, because I think what you're saying is right. You go to a website and you get a very, not clinical, but it's been, what's the word? I know this is perfect. It's been...
It's very, it is what it is. It's just, you've got your images, it's got, the rooms, and some copywriters and web designers can create amazing websites and can create beautiful wording that can give that kind of feel of what the holiday property is going to be like. But that's something that you can bring through into Instagram with that human connection that you can't get from a website.
Yeah,
for sure.
Exactly. And I think the word I was trying to get was that you get the experience of living there. It's like you see in your Instagram feed, you will have images of people actually having a good time and doing things, and you get to share, or your guests get to share little moments, and
That's
even
right.
your guests. So is Instagram the only platform that you use?
I use Facebook as well. Instagram is my passion is, and I love Instagram, but Facebook's also really good because there's a different demographic that uses Facebook. So you've still got a lot of people that are on Facebook, and you can't forget that, there's a older demographic that uses Facebook. So if that's your target market and that's who your target market is, then you should definitely be using Facebook as well. And one thing that's really great is when you post on Instagram, you can actually share your post directly to Facebook at the same time. So one thing though, if you're going to do that, you just have to quickly jump over and check that you're not getting any comments, and make sure you checking in on your Facebook account as well, and not just forgetting that it's there. But you can do that at the same time.
Yeah, I always wonder about that, because there was a time when you got penalised for doing that, but I guess since Facebook's bought Insta, has that changed?
I'm not sure. Yeah, probably not, because they are the one thing. So
yeah. And I've noticed that I've got to stop calling Elizabeth, because she says it's very formal, and I sound like her mother's speaking to her. So I've noticed that Liz has asked a question, and I might hold that off to the end. So what are some of the results that you've achieved using your method with Instagram? So what's the impact of that?
Personally, for myself, for one thing, I think professional photography has really helped my Instagram growth, and utilizing those beautiful images in my reels, doing reels nearly every day, if not every other day. And also looking for trending audio when I'm posting reels, and jumping on the trending audio. And also basically just knowing who your target audience is and speaking to them and figuring out what it is that they want to know about, and, knowing what you need to be speaking to them and talking to them about.
And do you measure your impact through number of followers or how much engagement? What's most important to you?
I always check in the back end. You can check your insights and see your engagement, and see, you can have a look and I don't measure mine for followers. Everybody would love to have, the K after their number, and have that 10K or 20K. And it definitely, obviously, you want to have a lot of followers, because the more followers you've got, the more eyes you've got on your business and on your property. But it's more about the engagement and the way that you're connecting with the people that you actually have within your community. So you could have 3,000 or even 500 in your community, but if you're communicating with them in a way, and they're all return guests, and they're all rebooking and coming back every year because they love your property, then it doesn't matter if there's nobody else coming, because they're filling up your books every year. So that's what it's about.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yes, I often think about that because, we sort of worry about the fact that we don't have like 100,000 followers, and you think like 500 people, like if you had 500 people in the room, that is mind blowing. So I don't really know why we obsess over those
Yeah.
numbers, but I think everyone in business does. Oh, actually, this is a good spot to bring in. And Liz's question is, how important are the number of followers?
Look, I think that comes down to personal to you. For a lot of people, as you said, they do get obsessed by it. It's good to have a lot of followers because, as I said, the more followers you have, the more reach you've got. And the more you build your account and the more reach you've got, then you've got more eyes on your property, and then they're sharing your property to other people. And it is that kind of word of mouth thing. So you want to be able to be building your account all the time, and you want to be able to be getting your holiday. You want to be able to getting your holiday property out there in front of more people. That's what it's about. So it's not about building the numbers. It's about sharing your holiday property with more people. But don't get stuck on it. Don't get obsessed with it, because, as I said, it's more about nurturing those people that are within your little community. And I will say too that a lot of the accounts that have got the massive, massive numbers, they achieved that in a time when the algorithm was very, very easy to achieve those really high numbers. It's much, much harder to get massive followings. I have got 5,500 followers, which that's pretty good following. I'm happy with that. But it's not tens of thousands of followers like a lot of other designers and big, people have. But I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
That's a good number. So yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. And so do you focus most of your energy on Instagram?
I do.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. As we talked about the other day, you said I need to get on TikTok. So that maybe is something that I need to try. But I think I'm drawn to Instagram because I'm very visual, and it is a very visually aesthetic kind of platform. It works really well with my industry, with Instagram, and it works really well with the holiday home industry as well. Especially if you have, created a beautifully designed and styled holiday home, which I'm hoping that everybody is aiming to do, because that is what's going to stand out and draw guests to your holiday property. And with that comes a really beautifully designed Instagram feed, because when people land on your feed, you want that to portray the feeling and the style of what they're going to expect and see when they get to your holiday property as well. So
Absolutely.
It works really well together. Yeah.
And so I'm assuming that you go out of your way to create vignettes.
I do love creating vignettes. Yes, I do. Yes. Yeah.
We wouldn't expect them less.
No, that's right. It's fun, and I always say to people, like, I have a lot of my clients or people that are looking into starting. Like, I did a workshop not long ago when I was doing a launch for my program, and a lot of the people that signed up haven't got the beautiful holiday home yet, because they're in the process of renovating it and doing the styling. And they said, how am I supposed to start an Instagram page, because I've got nothing to post yet, because it's not, so it doesn't look any good yet. I'm just still working on it. But what I say to them is, bring everybody along on the journey, because everybody loves to see the behind the scenes, and they love to see what's going on. So I think that you're piquing their interest and bringing them on the journey with you. And when you're thinking about wanting to create that beautiful aesthetic feed, what I do is you can take little glimpses. You might have gone shopping and bought a cushion. So you just take a shot of that beautiful cushion, and that can be the cover image of your reel, for instance. But then behind that cover image of the beautiful cushion, you've got this behind the scenes of you going shopping and choosing your cushions. Or you might have you pulling a window out, and, just whatever it is, but take them on the journey with you. And because you're already building a following, you're already building an audience, and they're getting excited and they're starting to learn about that property before you even open it up. So you've already got this audience ready and waiting to come and stay before you even open.
That's very good advice. In fact, we're going to put Darley Street on short-term rental. I should be starting.
You should.
Yes, I'm holding my breath as I say that. I'm thinking, oh God, another one. But because there's and it also, it builds engagement, but people really want to buy from people. So if they're going to be booking from somewhere to stay, it makes a big difference if they know who the owner of that is and the amount of care they've put into creating that home. So I think that's a great way to convey that.
So, and that's something that I've always said too, is that, and a lot of people don't like doing this, and I never liked doing it when I first started my business, but it's really important to introduce yourself as well. If you own a holiday home, yes, it is all about your holiday home, but you should also be on there saying, hi, I'm the owner. I'm the one that's going to be taking your booking. I'm the one that's making it beautiful for you. I'm the one that's looking after you, because then it just makes them realize there's a person behind this. It's not a robot. It's not a company. It's a real person, and I care about you and I care about your stay. And so that, as you said, Bernadette, it's that human connection. And there's that, there's that importance of having Instagram as opposed to just having Airbnb or a website that you should be having it. Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing is, it's a great risk management tool, because if you're building your following outside the platforms, like outside Airbnb, when things like the pandemic hit, those people who had independent relationships with their guests did much better than those that were purely relying on Airbnb and so on. So, I definitely think it's a great risk management strategy. Now, I noticed that you said you talked about posting reels every day or every other day. Do you want to talk a bit about, how you manage that in your day? Do you post it in your feed? Do you post the stories? Like, I get really confused about all this stuff. And do you post every day?
So I actually did a little test, and I did 30 reels in 30 days to see. Now, a lot of people talk about that. I wanted to see if it actually did help.
Yeah.
And so the way that I do it now, and I did that, and it actually really did boost my following and my engagement. So I got a good boost of followers and a good boost of engagement. But what I do is I will put aside some time and I just sit and go through and save. I've got a little saved collection under Reels in my Instagram, and I'll put aside some time and I'll go through the Reels section in Instagram and save Reels that I think will work for my niche. Or I like the audio, whether it's a trending audio. And if anyone doesn't understand the trending audio, in the bottom left-hand corner of the reel, if it's got a little arrow that's pointing up to the right-hand corner, that means that the audio is trending. So it means it's being seen. It's going viral, and it's being seen in front of, going out to more people. So you want to jump on trending audio if you can. I always try to do that. And then I save them all to my little Reels folder. And then I put aside probably once a fortnight to just take some little videos, do some pictures up in the studio. And I go back to these reels to go, what was I doing? Because you don't remember. What's this? You need inspiration.
Yeah.
And and then I'll just have a day, and then I will sit down, and it takes some time. You've got to put aside some time, and then you can save them into your drafts.
Awesome.
And so then I'll go in there on the day, and I actually just post them. But you can schedule them as well in scheduling software.
Yeah.
It's a lot of it is a bit of work, which is why I've created packages to actually help people do that, because it is a bit of work behind it, but it's worth it. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I do want to talk about what you offer in terms of help in that area. Just before we do that, what are some of the common mistakes that people make when they're doing social media or doing Instagram in particular?
Oh, common mistakes. Look, I think the first thing would be is to not have a really clear direction of your aesthetic and your style, to have a style guide. So if your holiday home has been, and you've done all the interiors and you have a really clear idea of the colours and your branding, you've had your branding done, then you'll carry that through into your Instagram feed and have a particular kind of style that you're going to be taking through into the feed, so that everything's really cohesive through that whole brand experience that your clients are going to have or your guests are going to have. So if you don't have any of that, it's a really good idea to think about creating one that's going to work across everything. But with your Instagram, having a style guide or something that you can work to so that everything's cohesive, so that it's not all really mismatched. So I think that's one thing, is to make sure everything looks really aesthetically cohesive on your feed. Think about what you're posting, whether it's going to be targeting does it work for your target market? If your target market is for a family, then you're not going to be posting something that is inappropriate for that kind of market, So you'd really have to think about that as well. And I think really understanding how you can speak to your market as well, and asking for the sale, just always thinking about that call to action, and always thinking about how you can sharing about the stay, and remembering that your guests may not have been to the area, so that's what you want to portray to them. So tell them what the area is like, tell them what the best spot in the holiday home's like, where it is in the sun in front of the window reading the book. So just thinking about, I guess, thinking outside of your own little bubble, and thinking what is it that these guests want to know? Yeah, that haven't been there.
That makes
Does
sense.
that answer the question?
Yeah, it does. And I suspect you may have this systemized, the steps in order to
Yes.
To make this easier. Do you want to just talk about what services that you do offer, just so if anyone wants to work with you, that they have an idea of what you do, where you help?
Yeah. So first of all, I have an Instagram audit, and that is if you are just wanting somebody to have a look over your Instagram page. And what I do is it's a 90-minute consultation, and I go through and we look at your bio. I make sure that is all set up right, and it's optimized, and you are saying what you need to be saying in your bio. We then go through and look at the design of your feed and make sure it's really curated beautifully. I then create some Canva templates for you. So using and create some templates that you can then use moving forward, and just swap out your own images and things and graphics into that. I then give you content prompts and ideas of what to use for content for your holiday home. And then also some ideas on how to collaborate and work with your community, and how to build that growth for your holiday home. And then the other services I have are social media management for holiday homeowners. So this is something I've been offering for a while in my my holistic package. So when I worked from design, we started from the scratch with curating their interiors right through to managing social media. But I've pulled that out of that. Now we're just, we can do that for people. So anything from simply curating a beautiful feed and, managing that for them monthly, or right through to doing reels, stories, posting it all, doing all the captions and the prompts and everything. So depending on what your budget is, we can manage that whole thing for you. And it's whatever anybody needs, we can kind of work with that with them. So yeah.
So, and you'll give us a link that we can link to so people can find that service.
I will. And if anybody wants to, if anyone gets in touch and wants to mention, just send me a DM and say that they're interested in purchasing. My Instagram handle's at studiohaven_au, and just mention this podcast, the She Renovates podcast. I will also create a style guide for your Instagram page. So I will put together a little, like a mood board and style guide for your Instagram as well, so that you, have got a really clear idea of what your vision is for your feed as well. Yeah.
Beautiful. That's great. For those of us who struggle with it, that's an awesome offer. So on that note, I think we've covered the topic adequately. Is there any more that you would like to add, Katrina?
No, I guess I just would say if you own an Airbnb or a holiday property and you don't have, you've only got it on a website or Airbnb, then I'd really highly recommend thinking about what is your other marketing, how else are you marketing your property? Because at the moment, I think there is a bit of it is a bit slower in the market. So you need to be doing a little bit more. And this is something that you can do that can start to generate a little bit more movement and a little bit more traction in your bookings. So, yeah.
Yeah. How do you go about getting followers? This is a question. How do you go about getting followers if you've just started in Insta?
Well, you get your friends and your family first off. Anyone you know, you get all of them. So wherever your holiday property is located, I would be going around or following anyone in the local community. So following local restaurants, following local shops, introducing yourself, and getting to know everyone in your local area. And moving forward down the track, you can do collaborations with them, like giveaways, and there's lots of ways you can sort of build that following in that way. If you've got any friends who have got their own businesses and they've got big followings, ask them if they would mind, sharing about your holiday property. Yeah, so I think just asking people. Don't be afraid to ask people to share about your business, because I, for one, and I know most women are more than happy to support other women in business. So
absolutely. And it just does mean that you've just got to put yourself out there a little bit more, which is
you do.
What we're all dealing with. Liz asked, how often should you post?
So I would say about 5 days a week. 4 to 5 days a week would be a good amount of days to post, because you want to be consistent. You want to be showing up in front of them. So you're just popping up in their feed and reminding them that you're still there, and just so that they get to know you and become familiar with you, and so that you're front of mind to them when they do decide that they want to go on a holiday, that they'll think, oh, that's right, there's that property that keeps popping up in my feed, I want to go and stay there. So you want to be consistent, and you want to post at the same time every day as well.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, I think we will consider this topic adequately covered. So thanks so much, Katrina. What we might do is put the link to your offer underneath this recording in the She
Okay.
Renovates group. So if anyone wants to catch up with that. And I'm sure you'll be back because we love your work. And yeah, so thank you.
Thank you.
And take care, everyone.
This is the She Renovates podcast. To discover how to harness the power of renovating, check out theschoolofrenovating.com.